Hello, YouTube. My name is Samuel. I am a personal trainer and a strength slash powerlifting coach. I have been coaching for and working with in-person clients for almost 4.5 years. Um, I do focus on powerlifting, focus on strength, injury rehabilitation. If you're cleared by a clinician, chiro, physio, anything like that. Um, yeah, so why I'm here today is to just talk about training and talk about experience and use this platform as a bit of a void to speak into and give other people a platform to just talk about training, ask questions, and just talk about their experience. And that's why I'm here. This is exactly what I'm doing. So let's talk about it together. This video is just going to be an intro for why I'm here, how I got here, and why I do what I do. So let's get into it. I have been training with a barbell for about 10 years. I started when I was 16, almost 17 years old, and I am 26 now. I started really fitness in general through self defense and martial arts. And I loved it. It just kept me active, kept me moving. Just the feeling of being able to use my body for something was just really cool to me. So from there, there was a coach in that gym. He trained the owner of the self defense gym. The owner came to me and said, "Hey, why don't we do this together?" And it was barbell training. It was like powerlifting style. It was like 5-3-1 with conditioning and stuff that would complement like self defense, martial arts, that kind of thing. Excuse me. So going forward from there, I got into CrossFit when I was 18 years old. So at that point, I had been training with a barbell for about 2 years or so. I competed in CrossFit twice. It was a lot of fun. I wasn't high level or anything like that. I wasn't anything crazy by any means, but it was a lot of fun. I did learn a lot in my time doing CrossFit. I gained a lot of experience and knowledge there, and made a lot of great friends as well too, who I still talk to today. Almost, what is that? 8 years, 8 years later. So yeah, it was awesome to have a base doing that. Gave me perspective on training different modalities and seeing how that affects a person's lifestyle, everyday life, all that kind of stuff. So in CrossFit, I really only cared about the strength aspect of things, like my squat, my bench, my deadlift. I enjoyed a lot of the other things that CrossFit had to offer in terms of, the gymnastics or the Olympic weightlifting, the conditioning, running, all that kind of stuff. It was awesome, but I didn't have the desire to get good at those things like I did to get strong. So fast forward 2 years later, I got into powerlifting in 2019. In my CrossFit time, I was following guys like Larry Wheels, Kaylor Woolham, Dan Green, like just big powerlifting names like that. And so I was like, wow, I want to get strong. I want to get like really strong. So I started powerlifting on my own. CrossFit gave me a good base of knowledge and a good base of experience to be able to coach myself to improve my lifts. Gave me some awareness of how I was moving. So I wasn't completely fresh getting into it. So I got myself decently stronger, and I did pretty good. Put on some size, felt pretty good about it. And then at the gym I was training at, my now coach approached me and said, "Hey, do you want to compete, or just here to fuck around?" And I was like, "Wow, that's a very real question." And I I knew I wanted to compete, but I hadn't really like vocalized it outside of training. So fast forward to now, we 6 years later, we still work together. She's a fantastic coach. She's been with me for the wild ride of the last 6 years. And so I guess the start of that wild ride was fast forward now to late January of 2020. So right before COVID started, everything, like, the world was crazy. Um, so I got into a really bad car accident in late January. of 2020. So if you know winters in Canada, Alberta specifically, they can be pretty harsh. So how the accident happened is there was a pothole. It was full of fresh slush and ice and frozen over the night before. I hit that pothole and I lost control. And I went into oncoming traffic and hit someone head on. So when my right foot was on the brake, my leg shot up into the steering wheel, shot back down to the floor, and snapped my tibia and fibula in half. For those of you who don't know, that is your shin bones. So kind of need those to walk and function and all that good stuff. So I was obviously unable to walk, but I called 911. They got there, rushed me to the hospital. And then 5 minutes away from the hospital in the ambulance, we got T-boned and into another car accident. So that sucked, but we survived. It hurt. I was on painkillers at the time that the medics gave me. So thankfully I was pretty out of it, but I certainly did feel it. But then we went into emergency surgery that night. So now I have a rod from the top of my knee down to my ankle, with two screws at the top, two screws at the bottom in my ankle, holding my leg together and holding the rod in place so I can function and do what I do. So that was the start of it. Yeah, so I was bedridden. I was 20 at the time when it happened. It was a couple months before COVID had kicked off as well and shut the world down. So I was bedridden. Couldn't go to the gym. Couldn't really walk. Couldn't do the basic life things that I need to do to take care of myself. And I am a pretty independent person. I moved out at 16 years old. And so at this point, I was on my own for 4 years. So I couldn't do anything that I needed to do. Couldn't work. Couldn't do any of that stuff. I did get lucky. I was living with one of my sisters at the time, and she really helped me just with the basic everyday things. She made me food, took care of me, made sure I was, taking my pain medications, doing my rehab exercises, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I was in physio 2 times a week. But anyways, back onto the journey of rehab. Yeah, we got back into the gym about May, I believe, of 2020. And that's when, we were in that up and down, shut down, open, shut down again a week later kind of process. So anytime I could get into the gym, I took the opportunity. As soon as I was off crutches, and the gyms were open, I would hobble into the gym, do what I could. My coach was still coaching me. Obviously, we didn't hop right back into the barbell, but we built our way up there. And so we worked through that process. I was back under a barbell in July or August of 2020. I can't remember exactly which, but I was under a barbell. And it was a really reassuring moment when I got under that bar that I was like, okay, I don't care how much weight is on this bar right now. I don't care how weak or how strong I feel. All I care about is being able to do the thing that I love to do. And we made it. We got here. Even though that was like the start of the work, that was just the beginning. It was like we made it. You know what I mean? So I was really excited about that. And it took a long time to get to a point where I was finally pain free, and I was able to push things and train hard, without pain and any like aftermath, discomfort. But it also gave me that mentality of, especially getting into working with clients, because I started training clients in September of 2021. So I was still dealing with pains and discomforts in my leg, but I was like, if I can do this, I can help other people get there as well. So in my time of personal training and coaching, I've worked with a lot of clients who have been through surgeries or catastrophic injuries where, they weren't really sure if, they would make it back to normal or 100%, whatever that looks like for the individual. And I'm really happy and thankful that I've been able to work with people that I've been able to relate to in that sense. So having that story about my accident really turned into a blessing in disguise, where hey, I can relate to people. I can help people. I can actually like go through this with them, or say, hey, I've been in that exact position that you're in. Let's work on it together. So it always helps to have a coach, or have someone you can relate to. So fast forward to, yeah, now I'm running my own business out of a gym in Edmonton, and it's, we've been doing great. I work with a lot of good clients that really want to get better, and we work through some injuries, we work through getting strong. Obviously, injuries are not the only thing that I work with. I do work with powerlifting, or just general strength. If you just want to get strong and not compete, absolutely. Or just general fitness, general physical preparedness, anything like that. Yeah, I'm here to make people stronger, and here to help people see how, like, what they're capable of, regardless of where they're at in life, because strong is subjective to the individual. So here we are. I'm using this platform, like I said, as basically a void to speak into, to give people that space to talk about these things, and to share their experience, just like I've shared mine. Obviously, we're going to be going over other topics, whether that's principles of training, barbell stuff, nutrition, recovery, anything like that. So if you guys have any suggestions for me, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'm always happy to go over different subjects. But obviously, if there's something that's either I'm not well versed in, or it's just completely out of my scope, I'll leave that out. But yeah, I'm just here to create a little bit of a community, and connect with people. And if there is anyone that wants to work with me, if you're in the Edmonton area, I do take some on case by case in person clients, and I do take online clients as well if you're not in the area and we can't do in person. So, however, that's not why I have this channel. It's not solely as a plug to, hire me, but let's talk about it. Let me help you if you have questions, or if you're a newcomer to the gym, or if you've been in the gym for a while and you're maybe not seeing the results that you want to see, or if you're getting injured, week after week, and you're not sure why, not sure what's going on. Feel free to reach out. Let's talk about it, or leave your questions in the comments, and I'm happy to help you out in any way that I can.